What's going on, people? So in this video I'm going to be talking about how I would make a composition notebook cover. Now I'm going to be walking through it with you in this video. I'm going to be making it from scratch, and the principles within this video can be applied for many other books aimed at children, such as primary story journals, for example, other activity books, handwriting books, and many other types of books. So guys, by the way, hope you're all having a very good day. If you're new here, then welcome to my channel. My name is Ben, and I like to bring out videos like this on my self-publishing journey and all the hints, tips and tricks that follow. So if this is going to be something that's interesting to you, then be sure to subscribe. And if you haven't done so already, then do join my Facebook group, especially if you're serious about self-publishing. We're a community of nearly 400 people now, all with the mutual aim of finding success through publishing online. So the link for it is in the description below. And of course, if you haven't done so already, then check out the Residual Accelerator course. That's also a link in the description below, and it's a course that me and many other people took, and it's helped us get to where we are today in terms of our publishing journey. So if you haven't done so already, check those out. But otherwise, guys, let's jump into the meat of this video. So in the last video, I talked about how composition notebooks, primary story journals, and everything related to this niche is doing super well here in August. If you want to see it, the link is in the top right hand side of this video, and it'll explain how they're doing so well. But essentially in this one, we're going to be recreating some of the covers that have brought success to things like this Dinosaur era primary story journal. So we're going to be creating this on Canva as well. I'm going to be doing it all on screen and sort of explaining some of the design things that I do, how to save time, etc, and how to make it look very similar to this. So first of all, before we start on Canva, we're going to just look at the design elements of this book. Now you can see it's got a binder to the left hand side. This is just obviously print, so they've gone on Canva and created a block that goes down the left hand side of the book to make it look like it is a binder. They've got a section on the front to write on as well, so a child will write their name, as it's got a handwriting line here, and they've put Dinosaur era across their book as well, which allows them to give them the Dinosaur era title that they wouldn't otherwise be allowed to have hadn't they put Dinosaur era there. Now you can see lots of different graphics as well. The dinosaurs are obviously the biggest, but there's lots of other small ones that sort of support the setting that would have been a dinosaur era. And of course the white box here is sort of centered on this book. It's slightly skewed to the right. If you disagree, then let me know in the comments, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like this white box is slightly to the right. The gap between the binder, the edge of the green there, to that box is slightly smaller than this side here, and we can press on these images that they've created. You can see that, yeah, it is slightly smaller. It's skewed to the right a little bit. And if we go on to the back, it is exactly the same as the front. So they just copied and pasted from the front to the back. So we're going to be recreating this on Canva. So let's go over and get onto homepage. Now let's go ahead and create design and type in custom dimensions. Now we want to see how many pages we're going to use in ours. They've used 100 pages. You can go up to, I'd say, 108 though, or 108 is pretty optimal, but for the purposes of this video, let's do 100. So we're going to go onto tangent templates, go on KDP helper up here, and then we're just going to do 100 pages of 8.5 by 11 inch, and we're going to select interior bleeds, and we're just going to continue, and we're going to take these dimensions up here, so 17.48 inches by 11.25. And what we're going to do is we're going to download this print ready cover template. So if we download this from Canva, there it is, and we're just going to go straight onto Canva. 17.4, that needs to be in inches, 17.48 inches by 11.25. There it is. So let's go ahead and put this PNG file in. It's going to show you all the other photos that I've been using if I put it on here. So here it is. So let's keep this in the background for the time being. So we're not going to use any more uploads. The rest of it are going to be using Canva graphics. But the first thing I would do is put the binder in. Now we want the binder to be similar colored. They've got a nice color scheme going on. So for the purposes of this video, again, I'm just going to be using their color scheme. But obviously try not to copy other people's titles. If they've got good design elements, then be sure to incorporate them in yours, but don't copy it basically 100%, because that's how you get reports against you. So we're just going to put this binder here as it is. We want it to be slightly thicker than that. I think that's a good amount of square for a binder. So if you didn't see that, we just typed in square up here and we stretched it across to make it look like that. Now for the elements here, so we're going to create this little handwriting section here. We just want to go straight back onto Canva. If I close the other windows as well for no confusion, we're going to be using a square, so you can just type in square again, but we're going to be using one with the curved edges like this. We'll make that white. In fact, we'll make it light grey so you can see it, and then we're going to shape this a little bit here so that it sits fairly central. Now what we can do is just get rid of this binder for a bit and see how central it actually is on the book. We want it to be fairly center. I think they've skewed it to the right a bit, so you can do something similar, because it's sort of a compromise as the binder sort of takes some of the space. So this is the left hand side of this box here is going to be closer to the binder than it is to the edge of the cover, but it actually sits center on the front cover, so it may look skewed a little bit. But so we're going to compromise that and put it somewhere like that. So you can see it's still a larger gap between the edge there and to the binder, but it's skewed to the right a bit on the whole book. So we're just going to keep it like that. So that's looking fine. We're going to make this that sort of size as well. And to create the handwriting paper, what we need to do is we need to go onto lines here, and we want to create 2 lines. I always put it in grey rather than black because it looks nicer when it's on a book. I'm just going to stretch that across. We're going to make it quite a thin line as well, something that looks like that, and we're going to zoom in, and we're just going to copy and paste that line we just created onto the bottom hand side as well. I'm going to make this box slightly smaller as well, sort of this size here. Now for the dash line in the middle, this is quite difficult as there's no dash line setting in elements for Canva. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this line very short and make it even smaller like that, center that in the middle, copy and paste, and do it sort of like that. Now it's a little bit it takes a bit of a while to copy and paste it all the way to the other side. So what we can do is, oops, we don't want to move the background. If I lock the background, and then if I lock all the other elements, so this lock key at the top here, you just press lock, and then it's locked everything. So it's locked this box here, and it's locked the 2 lines. And what you can do is just hover over these 2 small lines and copy and paste them across without copying and pasting the background there as well. So we're just going to keep on doing that until this whole section looks like a road almost. There we go. And we're just going to do that for 2 more lines here. And that's looking near perfect. There's a slight larger gap there than there is for the rest, but we can just easily move that in a little bit like that. Oops. I just want to hover these 2 in the middle. There we go. That's perfect. So there you have it, guys. So we've created the handwriting section already. I might move this in a little bit more because we don't want it to be too big on the book. And we're going to make that white. And we don't really need that background thing anymore anyway. So I'm actually going to get rid of this page. What have I just got rid of there? Oh, it's locked. So we're just going to get rid of that. And we're going to put the background as dark blue. So there you have it. Though that contrast between green and the blue doesn't look very nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the saturation away by putting this marker to the left. As you can see, all of a sudden, there you go. Look, that looks super nice now. So it doesn't look so starkly different between that green and the blue. Now, in fact, I might move this bigger again. I'm sorry, I'm a bit indecisive in this video here. If we just unlock everything and we can hover over this background here. In fact, it keeps selecting the line. We'll leave that for now. If we lock this actually again, and then we can start adding the dinosaur graphics. So if I type in dinosaur here, we can start adding them in. Now you want to keep a fairly common scheme going through, so you don't want a complex dinosaur and then a simple dinosaur. You want them to be the same sort of age range. So we can start off with this one, for example. And again, always check that you're happy with the permissions for all the graphics that you use. I'm just doing this as an example. I'm not actually going to publish this cover because this is a pro element, and it's a bit 50-50 as to whether the pro element allows you to do this, but we're just going to use it for the purposes of this video anyway. If there's any lawyers or any intellectual property people that can clear it up, then feel free to comment it below. So we're just going to put that dinosaur there anyway, like that. And we're going to create a sort of pattern of how they appear on the book, similar to how they've done. So if we go back to the cover, you can see that the dinosaur here is replicated down here and it's flipped the other way. It's the same with this dinosaur there and that dinosaur there, and this one just hidden behind this evaluation result and this dinosaur down there. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to create a pattern looking thing, and we're going to evenly space it as well. So if we give out the flipper runes and put that to the back, there you have it. And before you know it, you've got a nice little pattern going on. Now, we're not going to touch the back cover as well, because we're just going to copy and paste everything from the front to the back once it's done. That's going to be the easiest way to do it, and the quickest, the most time-saving way as well. So we're going to leave the back until the very, very end. Now let's just keep adding dinosaurs onto the front. So we're going to create a nice funky looking one here. We're going to shift this over a little bit, and we're going to say put that in the middle. We can do it just like that, and we can make it a little bit more irregular, so we can make this one appear there as well. Position that to the back, and then that's that dinosaur done. We can do this orange one because this orange one looks pretty cool, and we can fit this one in like this. Yeah, that's quite nice. So we can do it something like this, and then we can put that orange dinosaur up here as well. So we can probably let me think. So we can put that there, and then we can flip it around and put that one in the middle there as well, maybe pointing like that, and then we can have an orange one pointing up here again, and just position that to the back. So we've got a nice little pattern going on, so we can just keep adding them. I'm going to use this red dinosaur as well. In fact, I'm probably not going to use that because that's a funky looking dinosaur. It looks a bit weird. We can just create this one here. This one looks like he's enjoying himself, this one, so we can add him to the book. That's never bad, is it? So we can put him just there, and then we can put him down here as well. In fact, I might put him to the left here and put him down to the right there. Give him the flip again, and then copy this one. In fact, let's get rid of this one here, there. And then we're just going to keep filling it and keep filling it as well. We want a slightly looking one, different looking one. I might get this flying dinosaur here actually, because again he looks like he's enjoying himself, or she's enjoying herself. So let's just add her in here. Lovely jubbly. And before you know it, you've got a nice pattern going on. And I know they're not all evenly spaced. You can spend as much time as you like trying to get them evenly spaced and as much of a pattern as possible, but I think for the purposes of what we're creating, this is quite nice in itself, so we can just keep that going up there as well. So it's beginning to look a lot like a wallpaper, which is nice. So what we want to do now, if we go back onto this cover, you can see that they've added smaller elements. So you can see there's palm trees, there's bones, there's pineapples, volcanoes, and things like that. So we're just going to add them, and we're going to use them to fill the spaces. So I might just put palm in, and we want to keep the same level of graphics going on. So this is a nice palm tree, not too complex, not too simple. So we can just add this palm tree again in a sort of pattern like this, just to fill in the spaces that would have been blue otherwise. So let's just keep adding them in like this. We want to use slightly different ones. Maybe we can use this one. This one looks really nice. Or maybe a bit too complex. We can use something that looks like, oh, that palm down there looks nice. Yeah, here we go. So we can vary it up a little bit. Nicely done. Perfecto. So we're just going to add this up here, and then we're going to add volcanoes as well. or maybe just a mountain. Mountain top. Let's see what it comes up with. Nice. Okay, so we can add something that looks like this. Maybe it's a bit too intense. Oh no, actually that's fine. So we can just put this here as well. Look backwards. Oops, let's just send that straight to the back. And let's copy and paste that across down to here. Copy and paste that across down to here. And then we can do bones as well. I saw bones. So we can just add the bones in. Oh, I didn't realize that was going to be black. Here we go. That's a bit of a nicer one, yeah. And they had the bones even smaller, so we can just put the bones in as such, and it just breaks the darker colours, makes it look a little bit lighter as well. That looks nice. Give them a switching around as well, so make it look a bit like that. So it's a little bit more varied up. Oops, I'm just going to copy this bone here, copy that across to there, copy this across down here, and copy that up here. Now we want to say somewhere that it's a dinosaur book, so what we want to do is now add a bit of text, and we want it to be called Dinosaur Primary Composition Notebook. So that in itself would be quite a nice title if we can keep that fairly small. In fact, if we elongated this thing here, we could have put it there. Maybe we can make that as small as 14. Yeah, that's quite nice. And just squeeze it on the top of the title, just as they've done as well. I think that's really good. Make that slightly grey as well, and make it really small actually, because it will be in the title anyway. They don't really need to see it. Maybe something like that actually. That's not so bad, because it fits in that white quite nicely. You might want to make this slightly bigger than I've done here. And we can do 50 pages, 100 sheets as well, like they've done. And then we can just fill in the rest. So actually that's looking like quite a nice pattern. Maybe we want a few more things, so maybe we want a bit of grass or something. Put these little grass things really small. That's a nice shade of grey as well. Not grey, green. So we can actually just stick these to fill in, again, some of the gaps that have come up. So that's looking nice. That's looking nice. And we can just stick those everywhere. Fill in the gaps using this grass looking thing here. So you've got the dinosaurs, which are obviously the primary feature, but then we've also got graphics to support it and make it look more like a wallpaper and less like just a few graphics stuck on a page here as well. So we're just going to keep adding it until you're satisfied that is looking very nice, and then bang, sorted. So I'm pretty happy with the way that's looking. It's looking fairly similar to this one here, but then you can see that there's a marked difference, obviously, in where the box is positioned as well as what the background's looking like. So yeah, that's been a success. I'm now just going to copy and paste everything from the front to the back. And there you have it, guys. That's pretty much the cover sorted. Ooh, I think that's a little bit low. Let's move this up a little bit here. Perfect. I'm just going to delete this text that we have lying there. Fill in the space that was covered by that box. Maybe just fill it with this. Flip that horizontally as well. Lovely jubbly. Look at that. Absolutely perfect looking book. Let's maybe, in fact, no, I'll just leave it like that. So that's really nice in itself. I would go ahead and publish that. And yeah, that's pretty much how you made this cover. You can see how long it's taken as well from the video. Obviously I've been talking along and explaining what I've been doing, so it might have taken me a little less than it's taken in this video, but all in all, like, it hasn't taken too long. And the best thing as well is that you have a template. So if I was to come and make a dog composition notebook, for example, I could then go onto the elements here, type in dog, and then pretty much replace the graphics that are already up. So generally speaking, if I hover on this one, for example, and I wanted to replace it, alright, so it's all positioned anyway. So if I wanted to place a dog there, for example, I can just get rid of this dinosaur and do exactly the same. So you've got your template ready, and you've got this little bit anyway that takes quite a bit of time to make. So actually it will save you quite a bit of time when you come on to make composition notebooks in different niches. But yeah guys, that's how I would make my cover. I would get the interior then from Tangent Templates and then upload it straight onto Amazon, guys. But yeah, really that's all that there is to it. Obviously I'm going to put some more information about how to do these designs in my course and how you can fully utilize Canva to save as much time as possible. But otherwise guys, that's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful, and if you did enjoy this video, do give it a thumbs up. And yeah, otherwise I'll see you all in the next. Have a really, really nice day.